the mystery. Welcome to the great I am. Welcome to the family of the living and the angel band. Welcome to all us sinners and saints. Welcome to believers and to those who ain't. Welcome to the mystery. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the mystery. Welcome to the great I am. Welcome to the family of the living and the angel band. Welcome to all us sinners and saints. Welcome to believers and to those who ain't. Welcome to the mystery. Welcome to the family.
It is a Thursday, just like any other Thursday, except it's not. We are gathering tonight a mere day after rioters attempted to seize the United States Capitol and disrupt the democratic process. They failed. And yet, the impact of yesterday's shameful events are seared into our collective consciousness. We might be sad that our national discourse has come to this, angered that these white rioters were not greeted with the same force that peaceful protesters had been last summer, shocked at the desecration of civic property and norms, sickened by Confederate and Nazi symbols on display, or numb, because none of this comes as a surprise. Tonight we observe the arrival of the three kings, the Magi, the Epiphany. And that story has long been reduced to magic and mystery and gifts, but the truth is, this ancient story takes place in times of lies and deceit, of violence and fear, of a king so afraid of losing his own power that he does the unthinkable and orders terror and massacre. If this gospel account of which we observe tonight is uncomfortable, it is because it is realistic. A people so mastered by fear that we do the unthinkable to each other and ourselves. But for us Christians, that's not the end of the story. For in the midst of such violence and fear, Jesus Christ, God incarnate, is born. And with him comes the promise of a new world, a new reign in which fear and violence has no power over us. Tonight we are a mix of emotions. And yet, with courage and awe, we join the Magi in kneeling before the manger and that newborn babe who brings to us the promise of peace and justice and the hope of change. We will do that tonight in the best ways we know how, by making music, reciting beauty, lighting candles, and by testifying to how this life of faith does bring hope and courage. We are in stewardship season at Old South Church, during which we will ponder how God is calling all of us to give of our resources to bring about more hope and change in this world. Senior Church Administrator and member of Old South, Helen McCready, will share her reflection on giving tonight. Thank you, Helen. And if you want to join us in this God work of giving by making an annual pledge to Old South Church, visit oldsouth.org/donate. And our time tonight does not stop with the credits. Join us for Jazz Social Hour this evening as we process this wild week and take courage in the presence of one another. The link to that can be found at oldsouth.org/jazz. Friends, I am glad we are together tonight. Let us come before God with music and beauty and hope.
All we need in this world is to have a time of peace, time to laugh and love with all guidance from above, a time someone can understand being free. Oh, in a time of peace. We need peace for our children so that they may live a better life. What a joy divine, what a perfect state of mind, with their worries and cares left behind. Oh, what a peaceful time. We need peace for our children so that they may live a better life. What a joy divine, what a perfect state of mind, with their worries and cares left behind. Oh, what a peaceful time. Oh, what a peaceful time. Oh, what a peaceful time.
Hi, my name is Helen McCready. I've been a member of Old South since 2014, and I've worked for the church since 1999. To tell you why I give to Old South, I must break the question down into two parts: why I give and why Old South. Why I give. Growing up, my family was active in our church, and we attended services every Sunday. I was taught that justice and equity were more important than anything else, to believe that no person should be judged based on their color or blamed for their economic circumstances, that our Christian faith could lead to no other conclusion. As an adult, this passion for justice was well ingrained, and I knew that to keep my faith life centered and spiritually nourished, I needed to be part of a church that espoused the progressive principles of mercy and justice. Soon, avocation became vocation. I have worked for faith-based organizations preaching the worth and dignity of every being for the past 35 years. Now, needless to say, this has not been a particularly lucrative career path. Early on, I thought that giving time and talent was all that was necessary for me. As I didn't have a lot of means, I felt that scarcity absolved me from giving my church more than a token monetary gift. Over time, experience has changed that view. Having had the privilege of being part of churches that were central to my life, I needed to add treasure to my gifts of time and talent. While I should not promise what I cannot afford, I must, for myself and for my spiritual nourishment, support my faith community with an amount that is significant for me, that is an important part of my budget. My connection to the church deepens, and my sense of purpose and commitment grows stronger. While I doubt I have ever supported a church that didn't need donations, that need is not the driving factor of my giving. My giving comes from gratitude, from what I am part of, out of the realization of the abundance of blessings in my life. Why Old South? That is a less complicated answer. The first time I walked through the doors of our church was to apply for a job. I knew I wanted to work for a church again, and there was a job opening. I knew nothing else about Old South. While waiting for the interview, I picked up a bulletin. On the back, I read the statement on the inclusive dimensions of God's grace. Wow, I had struck gold. This would certainly be more than a job. When I started working at Old South, I was a member of another church. A few years later, I ended that membership, and I was churchless. I knew I still needed to be supporting a church, and it was then I started giving to Old South financially. Later, when we moved to Boston in 2014, I joined officially, and my sense of purpose, belonging, and commitment has only deepened. For over 21 years now, I have seen from the inside out how Old South ministers to all who have need, poor and rich, black, white, or brown, gay, straight, trans, or other, able-bodied or not. Consistently, our congregation takes care of its own and stands with the oppressed, poor, and needy. We show up as witnesses to justice and mercy, not just Sunday morning, but anytime and anywhere there's a call for the voice of God's justice. I get to be part of these struggles, ones I cannot take on alone. When George Floyd was killed in May, it was Old South to whom I turned for analysis, for help with self-examination, and leadership and action. Old South has guided me in viewing life with new lenses. Complacency is replaced with awareness, despair with conviction and hope. 2020 was a difficult year, a terrible year. I don't need to list the reasons why here. As a church, we did not slow down once our doors were closed. Our ministers showed up, our congregation showed up, and we continued worship, ministry, and outreach and advocacy. We were all inspired and challenged. I know that as a community, we will come out of this horrible time stronger than we went in. Personally, I relied on Old South's ministry more than ever in the past year. In 2021, there are so many unknowns. It's scary, but I'm in the right place. When I make my pledge, I will stretch, make a financial commitment that is significant to me, and I know that I will be sustained by this wonderful community.
Star of wonder in the heavens, wonder what you want of me. Should I follow you tonight? Star of wonder, star of wonder. I am just a lonely shepherd, watching from a distant hill. Why do you appear to me? Star of wonder, if you will. Shepherd on the hill, what would make him leave his flock? For surely he must love them still. Star of wonder in the heavens, are you just a shining star? Or should I follow you tonight? Star of wonder, star of wonder, shining bright.
The Journey of the Magi by T.S. Eliot. A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year for a journey, and such a long journey. The ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter. And the camels galled, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow. There were times we regretted. The summer palaces on slopes, the terraces, and the silken girls bringing sherbet. Then the camel men cursing and grumbling and running away and wanting their liquor and women. And the night fires going out, and the lack of shelters, and the cities hostile, and the towns unfriendly, and the villages dirty and charging high prices. A hard time we had of it. At the end, we prefer to travel all night, sleeping in snatches, with the voices singing in our ears, saying that this was all folly. Then at dawn we came down to a temperate valley, wet below the snow line, smelling of vegetation, with a running stream and a water mill beating the darkness, and the 3 trees on the low sky, and an old white horse galloped away in the meadow. Then we came to a tavern with vine leaves over the lintel, 6 hands at an open door dicing for pieces of silver, and feet kicking the empty wineskins. But there was no information, and so we continued, and we arrived at evening, not a moment too soon, finding the place. It was, you may say, satisfactory. All this was a long time ago, I remember, and I would do it again, but set down this, were we led all that way for birth or death? There was a birth, certainly, we have evidence and no doubt. I had seen birth and death, but had thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us, like death, like our death. We returned to places, these kingdoms, but no longer at ease here in the old dispensation with an alien people clutching their gods. I should be glad of another death.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again, King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. now behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice. Alleluia, alleluia, sounds through the earth and sky. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Figure made of clay, and think about the things I've lost, the things I gave away. And when I'm in a certain mood, I search the halls and look. One night I found these magic words in a magic book. It belongs to you. There's a hand to rock the cradle, a hand to help us stand, with a gentle kind of motion as it sweeps across the land. And the hands unclenched, it's open, gifts of life and love it brings. So keep your hand wide open if you're needing anything. Throw it away, throw it away. Give your love, live your life, each and every day. if it belongs to you. There's a natural obligation to what we hold and claim, possessing and belonging to, acknowledging a name. So keep your hand wide open if you're needing love today, 'cause you can lose it even if you throw it all away. So throw it away, throw it away. Give your love, live your life each and every day, and keep your hand wide open. Let the sun shine through, 'cause you can never lose a thing if it belongs to you. 'Cause you can never lose a thing if it belongs to you. 'Cause you can never lose a thing if it belongs to you.
We hope tonight's music was a healing, soothing, and comforting balm for what your heart needs this day. Thank you for your generous presence with us this evening. It is always a delight to be together. We hope tonight's music was a healing, soothing, and comforting balm for what your heart needs this day. Thank you for your generous presence with us this evening. It is always a delight to be together. Many, many thanks to the Willie Sordillo Ensemble for their restorative and rejuvenating music. We would like to invite you to join us and our seminarian, Thomas Mitchell, immediately after the service at the Jazz Coffee Hour to commune and be in conversation with one another. To join us, copy the tiny URL from the chat feature or visit oldsouth.org/jazz for the link. And if you feel so moved and want to support our music, you can click on the donate button or go to oldsouth.org/Sundays. And now we turn to prayer and candle lighting. We light this candle for those who have lost loved ones, those who are grieving, those who are sick, those whose spirits feel heavy and weary, may you be comforted. We light this candle for those who are on the forefronts, for political leaders, for essential workers, for healthcare workers and researchers. May you continue to provide safety, wisdom, and guidance. We light this candle for ourselves as we navigate each passing day. May we pause for breath, allow the inner slowing down, and make room for hearing your still speaking voice in all that we do. May you, O God, be a safe, abiding place for us. May we be a safe, abiding space for ourselves and others as we come home to ourselves, as we know home in you. May we move ever gently through your unending rhythms of grace, held by your unfailing love. Be with us as we go into this night.